Hey everybody, it's EJ. So I decided to plan my journal today, and I wanted to use the new stamp set that Diane Reevely came out with. And I specifically wanted to use those crosses and those X's that she has, and I wanted to use those as journaling lines in my art journal. So I'm going to emboss them. So I'm going to apply some of the diamond ink to the stamp and use some of the clear, well, is it clear? No, I think I used the black pebbles to emboss them with. So what I'm going to do is take a sheet of paper or two to block off the left side of the page and to block my image so I won't get any of the embossing ink onto spaces that I don't want them to be. So I'm going to go all the way up the page from the bottom to the top using those X's and the diamond medium and the black pebbles, and use my heating tool to emboss them. The first few lines that I did with the diamond clear ink, I would stamp about 3 lines and then put the powder on it. But I discovered that it didn't show up the way I wanted it to. I think the paper was absorbing the ink before I could actually get it embossed. So I went to doing it one at a time until I got to the top where I kind of got impatient. So I did 1 line at a time until I got to the top, and then I did multiple lines. Okay, so now that that's done, I want to start working on my image. So what I'm going to do is take my black Posca pen and trace my image all the way around, and then I'm going to color in the spaces. Okay, so I finished the outline and now it's time to color it in. So I started coloring it in with that same Posca pen that I was using, but I got lazy and I said, we ain't about to do this. So I went looking for a bigger marker and I thought of those Sharpie markers, but the color is not the same as the Posca. So I eventually went back to using the Posca pen and took my time and just colored in all the parts. So I know you guys were struggling to see the image, but now that I got it outlined and part of it colored in, you can start to see it more. The black Posca pen is darker than the paper in the journal, so I actually like to go in and trace things and color it all the way in. Okay, it's time for my favorite part. So what I'm going to do is cut out all the negative spaces of the image. And so I always cut towards myself. I make sure that I have a cutting mat underneath my pages, and I always cut through 2 pages at the same time so that I can sandwich the film in between the 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go throughout the whole image and cut out all the negative spaces. So when I'm done, it'll have like this stained glass kind of feel going on. Okay, so now that I finished cutting out all the negative spaces within the image, I'm going to go and cut along the right side of the image so that I get rid of the excess part of the page that I don't want, and that way the image becomes a flap to the next page. I really like doing that. I really enjoy journal spreads that are interactive, that are unusual. I just like interactive pages, so I want my page to be something other than just a rectangle, so that's why I do that. Okay, so now it's time to add color to my image. And so what I'm going to do is use this film that I found on Amazon, and it's used to help people with dyslexia read better, I guess. But what I do is I lay the film on top of the image, and I'm going to take a Sharpie and trace around the shape where I want to put that particular color. And I'm making sure that I don't trace it right on the edge of the shape, but make it a little bit bigger, but not too big, so that when I put another piece beside it, it still has room to glue down. And so I'm taking my fine liner glue and going around the image and putting some glue down, then I lay the film on top. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same exact thing with this wire mesh. The mesh is very thin and you can cut it with scissors. So I'm going to do the same process, trace it, glue it, and it should be good. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my page a little bit and get ready to glue those two pieces together. So what I'm going to do is use double-sided tape and just tape around the image on the inside so that when I sandwich them together, they stick together and stay closed. Now, I told you guys before, I am the glue monster, so I'm going to use a lot of double-sided tape, and I'm going to use a lot of the red tape, and I'm going to use some of the fine liner glue as well. I just don't like to see any edges sticking up anywhere, so I go overboard, but that's who I am, and so I'm going to stick with it. Okay, now that those two pieces are together, I like it. It makes me happy. So what I'm going to do is use my Posca pens to doodle on the inside of these shapes. One of the reasons I love using this film is because you can write on it. You can use acrylic markers and write on top of it. If you mess up, you can just wipe it off. But when it dries, it doesn't easily come off, but it will come off. So I love using this stuff. When I discover, oh, I can write on it and it adheres to it, I said, oh, this is a game changer. And that's my daughter right there waving her hand in the screen. So, hey, Emery, Daddy loves you. Okay, so now that the doodling is done, I can add my quote to the page. I know what quote I want to use, so I'm just counting the spaces and the words of the quote to make sure I have enough room and it looks right up there. So I'm going to use this hot pink Posca paint pen to write the quote. And because I'm writing on black, I know I'm going to have to go over this again so it'll be as opaque as I want it to be. And once I get it to the place that I want it to look, I'll embellish some of the letters by adding polka dots, and then I'll color in the O's and the E's and the A's with different colors. Okay, so now I'm just adding some little embellishments here and there with stripes, black and white. And I think I like it. I think this is a done page. So thank you for playing with me, and I'll see you next time.